Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Circle of Alchemy Sisters. I am Dedra. I am here with my co-host, Kristi Lynn. We are picking up today from where we left off in our last video, which has been a few weeks, if you've been following. So this is our most viewed episodes, our videos. So we are picking up with false vibrations this morning. And we hope that you all had a great holiday. So
Yeah. All right, we're back. I'm Kristi Lynn, channel, psychic, medium, all the things, and we're gonna pick right up where we started off. False vibrations. Now this one, this was very popular. I think it has like over 15,000 views or something on TikTok when we posted this. So that's really exciting. So we're going to talk about false vibrations. And what I did is I watched our video back and then I went and wrote down what I thought was important to talk about. And what's funny is that I did this over a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe. And this episode is very pertinent in what's going on in our lives right now.
Exactly.
So it's really good. We're going to start with respond, not react. Okay. Now that's a big one. Now what we do here, what I consider myself as a spiritual teacher, right? We're here to teach people how to live in a way that is more transformative instead of more programming, right? We're programmed by our traumas and the things, and that causes us to react, right? We instantly, when someone says something or does something, we instantly want to react, right? And that's our old programming. So what we're trying to teach people here in the fifth dimension, all the channels are talking about it, all the spiritual teachers are talking about it. That's how you know, like, that's I want to talk about what we were talking about earlier. In the early stages of a spiritual awakening, right? Like once you open up, it's like everybody receives all the same messages, right? It's like basic information that the universal consciousness wants us to know. And one of those things is respond, not react. And the next thing down is triggers, right? We're triggered and we instantly react. In a higher dimensional living, in the new earth, in the fifth dimension, in just a better way of living, we're learning how to really observe and not absorb, right? That's another thing that everybody gets downloaded. We're seeing what's taking place in front of us. We're listening to what people are saying, but we're not letting it have control over us anymore. Because what people say and what people do has nothing to do with us and everything to do with them, how they are feeling, how they have been traumatized, how they have learned to deal with things. So we have to really understand that when we feel that I wanna jump, I wanna say something, and then we always say something, and then we have to come back later and be like, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I reacted. I'm sorry I was triggered, but if we could learn to just observe everything that's happening, observe it and take it in. Like when someone is talking to me, a lot of times I just nod my head, right? And smile because I'm literally just listening to everything that they say. I'm not responding. Like when you're telling me a story, I'm right? When people are complaining to me, when people are venting to me, whereas normally before I would have been like, well, you should do this and you should do this and this and this and this and this. And now I understand that everyone is on their own journey, right? Everyone is on their own journey. So I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to listen, but I'm not going to absorb it and I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to allow it to trigger me. I'm just going to allow them to say what they feel like they need to say, and I'm just gonna say, okay, right? I don't need to make a dig. I don't need to say a smart ass comment. I don't need to have the last word because I'm confident and I'm powerful in myself, and sometimes silence is very strong and very powerful. Things don't always have to be said. But let's jump to the other side of that. Sometimes things do need to be said, right? There is a big energetic shift going on right now where people are just now finding their voices. And I feel like you are one of these people. You're just now finding your voice, and you're just now realizing that you can use your throat chakra and say what you need to say, but not in a triggered manner. Right? Respectfully, fuck off. Right?
And it did come from a good place. It
did
come from anger or
Yeah.
hate. It came from a feeling of just standing in my truth and in my power and not being thrown off my throne.
Yeah. And sometimes in the beginning, it feels really scary. Like we have these... And I know that I should say something, but I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And it's scary in the beginning to use your throat chakra to stand in your power when you've never done it before. You know, it is scary. It does take a lot of power to finally say and tell people how you really feel. And again, I don't want to fault anybody, because in the beginning of awakening, when you first find your voice after not having it your whole entire life, some things are going to come out that they're truthful, but they didn't need to be said, right? I'm feeling free. I'm feeling powerful. I've never used this throat chakra before. It's like, I want to use it, and I want to say everything, and I want to tell everybody everything, right? And we have to learn to, that leads right into the next thing I want to talk about, a spiritual ego. In the beginning of spiritual awakenings, a spiritual ego is so strong, right? It's so strong because it's like we've just, and I'm getting goosebumps and giddy all over because it's so true. In the beginning, we have all this information, right? Like I have woken up to the truth of things. I'm finally awake and I can see things from a whole different point of view. My mind is expanded. And all of a sudden, I have all of this knowledge and all of these things that I just need to tell everybody. I need to tell them, did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? And when you're being downloaded all of these beautiful things, it makes you feel very powerful, like an ego trip. Like, I know so many things, and I just want to tell the whole world, right? And the next thing in here, in quotes, it says, respecting others' paths. Remember that just because you have this information doesn't mean that everybody wants the information, right?
Exactly.
They don't want it. Some people don't want it. So what we have to learn to do is really tame that spiritual ego and save your downloads, save your information for people who really want it, right? Otherwise it's being wasted. All of that energy, all of this beautiful information that's coming to you, if you're spouting it off to people who can't even hear you, you know, they can't even hear you. They're not even going to be able to comprehend what you're saying because they're still living in the matrix. We're not here to be like blah 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 blah, and then people are like, oh my god, they're crazy. Like they don't shut up. I don't want to, like, you know, every time I'm around them, all they do is just talk about all these spiritual things, you know. That's not the way that we get people to awaken themselves, right? We're just here to drop little cryptic messages. We keep all of our beautiful divine knowledge inside ourselves, and when we're listening to unawakened, unhealed people talking, we're kind of like in that, you know, observe, not absorb thing, like, But until they say, what would you do? I'm not going to say anything, right? I'm just here to let you vent. I'm just here to show you unconditional love and compassion. But if you're not asking me for my information or for what would I do, then I'm just going to love you and support you, right? Like, it goes back to in relationships, any type of relationship. Do you want advice or do you just want to vent? Right? I take it as everybody wants to vent unless they ask me for my opinion. I'm not going to give it. I'm going to drop little seeds of things to make them think. Absolutely. But it's not our job to walk other people's paths. It's not our job to solve other people's problems. It's our job to support people, to love people, to encourage people. But we are not here to carry them. That is a false vibration. I see you over there. Your wheel's turning. Do you have anything?
It just made me think there for a second, because one specific thing that you said, we're not here to solve other people's problems, made me think about something my husband actually said to me earlier today. You don't need to carry their burdens. Let them figure out their own life. And so that was very relevant in the moment.
Don't you hate it when the husbands are right?
Yes.
Damn it!
Because for a second you think that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And then you hear another message that makes you think, am I?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a difference between enabling and helping, and that's a very, I don't know what that line is, right? I don't know in every situation what's the difference between enabling and helping, but I feel like if you're stopping someone from standing in their power, some people do have to hit rock bottom. Some people do have to learn. I remember when I was young and I was, now this stuck with me. I was so mad at my mom for saying it to me, but she finally cut me off. Like, I was a young adult and I needed help all the time. I didn't know how to manage my money, and I had kids, and I need this, I need money, help me. And finally one day she said, I cannot financially help you anymore. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. And I haven't borrowed money in I don't know how many years, right? Because somebody stopped enabling me. If they're always there for me to get rescued from, how am I going to learn to stand on my own? So I don't know if that helps you in your situation. But that's just my personal experience and how it affected me. Like, I really was mad. I was mad at my mom. Like, what, you want me to just starve? You want my lights to be turned off? No. I want you to get your shit together. Mm-hmm. I want you to stand on your own. I want you to be an adult, right? But in the spiritual world, it's, I want you to stand in your power.
Yeah.
I want you to understand how worthy you are of everything that's good in your life. And once you understand that, your life will change. But I'm not going to enable you to stay the same and repeat the same cycles and patterns over and over and over again. Respecting others' paths. Maybe those people came here to learn these lessons, and the more we help them, the more we're stopping them from moving forward in their path of ascension. You know, the longer we continue to just repeat the cycle ourselves, the longer they're in the cycle. So not carrying people into the fifth dimension, that's false vibrations. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about this before, and that's what we've been talking about the whole time, is we're not here to tell everybody everything, and we're not here to fix all their problems, and we're not here to carry them into the fifth dimension with us. Nobody can be carried into the fifth dimension. As soon as you put them down, they're going to fall.
Right.
They don't, it's like you're carrying a baby and carrying a baby and carrying a baby and expecting that baby to be able to walk at 3 years old. If you've been carrying it their whole lives, they're never going to learn how to walk. So you have to let the baby walk. You have to let the baby fall. You have to let the baby learn how to walk in to the fifth dimension by themselves and not have to be carried. I'm sorry.
It's so relevant and what's going on is everything. It's like I needed this message. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this came at a perfect time for both of us. You know, we're both going through these experiences right now. Unconditional love. And I feel like that, I mean, we've been talking about, like loving someone and supporting someone, not enabling them, being there for them, being compassionate. That's unconditional love. I don't care what decisions you make. I don't care what choices in your life you make. I still love you no matter what. Again, that doesn't mean that I have to subject myself to your energy maybe as much as I used to, right? I still love you. But the bad behavior stops me from sort of hanging out with you as often as maybe we used to, right? Unconditional love. It doesn't mean that unconditional love doesn't mean that I have to be around you all the time. You know, I still love you from 1,000 miles away. right? I still love you when you move across the country. I'll still love you when our vibrations are not matching, when we're not doing the same activities we used to do. It doesn't stop me from loving you.
Right.
Just when you stand in your power and you realize your worthiness, your eyes start to open to things that, oh, I didn't see that before. I didn't notice that before. When you open up, when you wake up, all of your senses expand. So you're going to feel certain things when you're around certain people that you didn't feel before. Mm-hmm. You're going to see certain patterns in people that you did not see before, right? Awakening is a bittersweet thing. I would never take my awakening back, right?
No.
I never want to go back to sleep because I look around and I just, when I see sleeping people, I'm like, oh, you know, like, it's so stressful to live in that.
Gives me anxiety. Like, I get very anxious seeing the behaviors that I once seen in myself.
It's like an NPC versus someone who's like alive and awake and moving around, you know? They're just living in the matrix, and it looks so exhausting, and it feels so exhausting. Mm-hmm. I mean, just going to your local Walmart, right? You can see sort of the alive and awakened people versus the
absolutely,
you know, you meet eyes, you catch eyes, and those bright sparkly eyes, and you share a smile for no reason. You don't know who they are. You share that smile. That's you know, high consciousness. That's a higher dimension. And then you make contact with someone, and they're just like staring in a daze. They look miserable. You know, that's the difference. And when you wake up, it's really hard to be around people like that, but we have to remember that we still are here to lead them and guide them. We're still there to drop little cryptic messages that inspire them, make them think, but we're not there to wheel them in. We can't wheel them in. We just gotta let them learn as they go, and hopefully they pick up on a little bit, right? A little bit. At least they can look at us and say, damn, why is her life so good? Why is she so happy all the time? You know, like, you know, and all we say is like, I just changed the way I think. I just changed the way I think. I changed the words that I say. I regulated my emotions, speaking from someone who had anxiety their entire life, who only could go to certain gas stations and grocery stores, like me, you know, anxiety. Learning how to regulate my emotions. Do I still get anxiety? Yes. Does it paralyze me anymore? Does it stop me from living my life anymore? Absolutely not, because I have learned how to regulate my emotions. I know that anxiety is stored energy, and I know that breathing in and breathing out helps me to regulate my emotions. That's the number one thing. Like, breathing has helped me so much. And yeah, I might look weird and sound weird wherever I go. If I'm in public, if I'm in large crowds, people are always asking me, like, what was that sigh for? I was just breathing.
Absolutely.
I was just breathing. I'm not annoyed. I'm not stressed. I'm just clearing energy. I feel it crumbling. I feel it like gathering all up right here in my chest and my stomach area. I can feel my body like itchy, like I need to release something, you know? So I'm breathing, and maybe you should try it, you know? Unconditional love was the last thing we were talking about, and that's just like, it's everything that we're doing, it's everything we're teaching, you know. We're learning compassion, and we're learning how to love someone, but we don't necessarily have to be surrounded by them all the time. Unconditional love, no matter what you do, no matter what actions you take, I will never stop loving you. That is unconditional love, right? But that doesn't mean that your little tricks and your manipulation and your depression and anxiety is going to affect me any longer. I still love you. I'm just not playing the games anymore. The next thing on the list. Aliens are real, man. Okay, so as fifth dimensional people, we have to come to grips with, I've said this so many times, that our extraterrestrial friends in the sky, they're real. It's real. Like, Otherwise, half of the world is going crazy right now. All of us channels, all of us high dimensional, vibrational people, we're all channeling the same things. All of us. Where does that all come from, right? There's so much proof everywhere that these galactic brothers and sisters is the next thing on the list. Aliens are real, and then it says galactic brothers and sisters, right? They're just people from another planet, right? And I don't know how to explain it. It just seems so simple to me. It seems so simple to me. When people do not believe that extraterrestrials are real, to me it's like, how could they not? How could they not? Where did we come from? Where did the Earth come from? Where are all the UFOs that everybody who's seen a UFO is crazy? Like, everybody who's had these same downloads, they're all crazy? Like, we have to understand that we are babies. We're babies, us humans. We're not the smartest race. There's a whole bunch of other races that really want to lead us and guide us and help us. So aliens are real. There are galactic brothers and sisters. And I think I said it in the same exact voice and the same exact tone because I'm so over it.
I know. I get so annoyed with people that want to believe that we are the only species that have ever been made out of billions and billions and billions of space miles, billions of years. That's pretty big ego to think that we were the only ones.
If the government, let's just say this. If the government is finally saying that aliens are real, we're about 50 years late. Right? The government has already been dealing with aliens for 50 years. And they're just now telling us. So you know that there's far more information that they have than just, oh yeah, there's some UFOs out there. We don't know where they came from. Right. Right. Like I don't know. I don't want to get a whole conspiracy theories freaking going, but in my opinion, aliens are real and there are galactic brothers and sisters. And I feel like we all come from the same creator. Mm-hmm. We all share the same piece of creator within us. We all have it within us. And that's why they're here to help us, right? And they also don't want us to destroy the earth, which is the main reason they're coming down right now. It's because us stupid humans are doing everything we possibly can to destroy this earth that we all came here on a galactic level to save. Our souls, all of our God centers literally came here to this planet at this time to help Mother Gaia transition into her next phase, to evolve, right? And instead, we're here and we haven't woken up to the truth of things. We're drilling and we're digging and we're polluting and we're doing all of these things. That's not what we came here to do. We came here to help her, and that's what all of us channels, all the information is all the same. No matter what channel you listen to, they will all say the same exact thing. Mother Nature, Gaia, Mother Gaia, the earth is here to transform into a new, she's shedding all of her skin, and the more high vibrational energy that exists on the earth, the easier it will be for her to transform. If we have all of this low vibration, she's going to connect with that low vibration. We're going to have violent earthquakes. We're going to have violent volcanoes. We're going to have crazy floods that are going to wipe out humanity. And that's why we're here, right? We're here to hold those very high vibrations so that her transformation is not so violent and humanity does not get wiped out once again. Right? Like, we've been through this before. Humanity has been here before. There's been lots of, deaths and rebirths in the humanity thing. And science shows that the earth has been wiped out with water. Like, they show there's all this proof that, earth changes and earth grows. And the higher the vibrations that we can hold, the easier the transformation will be, and that's why we're here. And we need to wake up and we need to realize it.
Yes.
Am I saying that I'm the perfect I don't do everything that we should do, like the recycling and like there are certain things that all of us humans should be doing. I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying that I do them all, but I am here to hold the highest vibrations I possibly can. But yes, let's stop with the plastic and let's do like whatever we possibly can, right? But holding the vibrations is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Mother Earth. Take a little time out. Shut your mouth is what it says. Take a little time out. Shut your mouth. And that should have been in the beginning when we were talking about respond, not react, triggers. It is okay when you are having a discussion with someone. Everybody thinks that everything needs to be solved right now. We need to talk about this right now. We need to get it solved. I am one of those people. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it until it's dead so that we don't have this anymore. But in that, I might say some things that I don't really want to say, right? So sometimes when we're in those moments, like you have learned, take a time out. Shut your mouth. Just shut up. Just shut up. Not everything has to be said. Just shut your mouth. Again, once you're early in your early spiritual awakening, obviously you're always talking and talking and talking and you're telling everybody everything. But like we talked about before, like once you sort of get into the whole I'm standing in my power, I'm a goddess, you don't really need to talk that much, right? I don't need to say words. And that is also the way of the future, right? We're communicating with sort of our vibrations. We're communicating with our facial expressions, our body language. Not all these words need to be said. So, shut the fuck
up. I'm with you on that one.
Are you? Don't be a fixer. I think we talked about this before we started recording. Don't be a fixer. It's not your job to fix people. It's not your job to fix people. It's their job to fix themselves. It's your job to stand in your power and lead from a place of inspiration. Right. You know, we're not here to fix them, but we are here to be standing in our power and living life of inspiration, dropping little nuggets of inspiration to people without trying to fix all of their problems. So, are you a fixer?
I'm not.
You're not a fixer.
I'm not a fixer because I think that's just too much of a burden to try to make somebody. I see it as a way of control too, because what you think somebody should be may not be who they're supposed to be. So, it goes back to everybody has their own path. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't want that burden to try to fix people. I do know that there are times when I think that I know best and my way is the best way. And I think that we all kind of carry that mentality at one point or another.
Sometimes it is. Experience makes you know things, you know, but yeah. I would say that I think I used to be a fixer. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that I'm a fixer anymore. Right. I'm really an observer. Mm-hmm. I like to observe.
Yes.
I like to observe.
Yeah.
I don't want to fix. It's exhausting.
It is.
I just want to live my life and be in a vibration where if I'm in a vibration, a good vibration, the person that I'm with shouldn't need to be fixed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm a fixer. The next thing and the last thing on the list is, oh my gosh, we'll pull some cards. Is magic. Magic with a K. Okay, so let's explain what magic with a K is. I think, this is my personal opinion, magic with a C is magic, fake magic. Right? Like magicians. Mm-hmm. Right? It's a trick. Right? Magic with a K to me is real magic. Universal magic. The magic that exists on this planet that we're taught not to believe in. That's magic with a K. You'll never catch me spelling magic not with a K anymore, you know, unless I'm talking about a magician, right? Magic with a K is universal magic that is here for all of us to use, all of us here to play with. It's the stuff that we're told not to believe in, but it's very much real. Magic with a K.
I love it. My sister brought up not too long ago, she was here for Thanksgiving, and she was sitting on my couch, and she's like, Dedra, I have a question. And I'm like, yeah, what is it? And she's like, are you a witch? And I said, yes, I am. And she's like, so do you use wands and stuff? And I said, no, I don't need wands. I just need intentions and good vibration, and I can make anything that I want. And she's like, do you like blood and stuff like that? I'm like, no, girl, I don't mess with blood, but I have used hair a few times, but it's not against anybody else. It's only to set good intentions for my life, to bring in the life that I want for myself. And she was just like bringing up things that like
misconceptions.
Yes, that would be a good word. Yes.
So that's the perfect. Okay. So my girlfriend just moved in with me, right? And she has never experienced any sort of ceremony or anything. So we had a full moon ceremony this last weekend, and it was her first time. She was really excited. We did a release, right? And when we got done and we're in the car and we're driving home, and she said, that was really cool. That was definitely not what I expected. I expected more blood. Definitely. I expected more blood.
I love it. I love it because that's exactly what people think.
Yeah.
When they think about witches, they think about the dark stuff, like, like hocus pocus type of stuff.
Or the craft.
Or the craft. Just some really dark.
Evil.
Yeah.
Evil. Yeah. And the pentagram is evil. But once you do your research, you realize the pentagram is as above, so below. Like, it's protection, you know? There's nothing evil about it. Witches don't worship demons and the devil. We don't even believe in them, you know?
No.
Like, so let's just talk about, let's bring people into, if people have never been to a ceremony. And now that this is just us, because another thing about being a witch is that you have the freedom to do whatever you want. There's no rules. There's no rules. I can be whatever kind of witch I want to be. To me, a witch is a birthright.
Right.
I feel like women are born witches, and it is your, you can tune into it if you want. You can wake up to it. You can use it if you want, or you don't have to, right? But there's no rules in the version of witchcraft that I practice, right? There's no worshiping of anything. I do not worship anything at all. I love and I connect with, but I do not worship anything at all. So let's bring people into a ceremony just so they can understand what we're doing, and let's sort of get the misconception that witches are evil out of the picture.
Right.
So we show up to the ceremony and Samantha plays sound bowls, right? She opens the ceremony and opens all of our chakras up with her beautiful sound bowls. Of course, we have a bonfire because it's January, and who doesn't love a bonfire?
Right.
And then we talk about the things that we don't want to carry with us into the next phase of our lives, right? And in this ceremony, we did a candle, one candle representing ourselves, and multiple candles and multiple string connecting with all the things we want to release. So we light the candles on fire, and we watch the candles burn and release the ties to us. And then what do we do after that?
We look at the stars, we talk. I mean, we're being girls.
That's what it is. We're being girls. We're hanging out and encouraging each other and listening and talking to one another.
And we're just watching our candles burn.
Yeah.
And talking shit to the candles. Like, bye-bye.
Literally watching the candles burn, watching the plate, watching the wax drip all over the plate, and watching the plate literally dissolve right in front of us. Nobody's plate was left behind. They all just completely dissolved. The rope, the wick, the wax, everything. It was so beautiful. So that was our ceremony. There was no darkness. There was no worshiping. We talked about old wives' tales, and we talked about like witch tips. I love when other women who have been practicing for longer than me come and they tell me all of these beautiful like rules, you know, like some people do. There are certain and I love expanding, right? So there was a woman who came and she had been practicing for I think about 20 something years, and just to hear her talking about things, that's what all we did. We just like talked.
Yeah.
Right?
Shared stories.
We communed. We're building a community. Now that's what it means to us. I'm sure there are other people out there who practice witchcraft. Maybe they have certain rules. Maybe they do certain things. But again, witchcraft is all about being free. We don't have any, I do not have a religion that I follow. If you were to ask me what I was, I would say that I was pagan, only because I love Mother Earth and I love the gods and I love the goddesses, but I do not worship one of them. It's only a relationship. It's a friendship. I have friendships with entities on the other side that have the qualities that I would like to carry in my life. We're not worshiping.
I feel like I love the freedom in it. I love using the herbs. I love using the fruits. I love creating and releasing things from my life. And I love what has woken up within me, that just the freedom to be who I am. And I know that since I've started the moon ceremonies, that now my body's in sync with the moon phases, and I can feel the energy. And usually before I even know what the new moon or the full moon's bringing in, I'll already feel the energy that needs to be released, or what I want to manifest. And I'll be sitting on my couch and I'll just feel called to either make a simmer pot or to do some magic. And I'll just start writing things down on a piece of paper, and I'll go in and I'll get my candle and I'll sprinkle all the herbs that I want to use. And now I don't even need to look them up. I'll just go over to my little shelf and I'll just pull whatever I feel connected with and just use
intention, intuition. Like you don't need rules. Yeah, we did, after she experienced the ceremony, I wanted to do a candle ceremony, just us two. Like, we're new, we're starting this beautiful journey, so let's set some intentions, right? Let's just light some candles, and let's write on a piece of paper what we want to manifest into this space, right? And let's burn it and watch it release. I mean, like, that's witchcraft.
Right.
It is. Like, that's it. There was no, like, summoning demons or devils. I didn't even call a goddess in. I didn't, like, it was just me and her and the universe working together.
And sometimes I just like being by myself.
Yes.
The freedom
I
of
love
just being
candle
by
burns
myself.
by myself. I love staring into the flame. I love watching the wax melt. I always have music on, and I love like swaying back and forth and just watching that flame. It's really just coming home to yourself, tuning in to yourself. And ceremonies are just the same thing, but with other people. Yeah. You know, like, how many women do you know that need this community? Right? We need other women to support us. We need other women to gather with and commune with.
Is to empower them to know that they have the power to rid themselves of stuff that no longer serves them, that they don't want in their life, helping to just free them and bring in the things that they want, because we all have the power.
We all have it.
To create the life that we desire by just releasing us from the chains that we place on ourselves.
Woo! Girl, that was good. That was beautiful. That's exactly what it is. Like, we all have these chains that have been weighing us down for centuries of conditioning, you know, like, just women in general have been chained down for so long. And like, at this moment in time, it's like, it's time for us to just like,
you just feel the power here. You feel it.
I have goosebumps everywhere right now, you know, like, I want to encourage every single woman to really understand what it's like to stand in your full power. And that doesn't mean being a bitch to everybody.
No, and you don't have to be with other people all the time. It's great to share your time with a community, with women of like-minded, intentions. But you don't always have to be with somebody. If you don't have the ability to get out, do it yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the greatest time for self-reflection, to really know who you are and what you want in life.
Yeah. So what I do is, like, let's say that I'm feeling something. Let's say something happened, because life is life. It's not perfect. You know, there's some bumps, but it's all about how you get over those bumps, right? Whereas before, when I was emotionally dysregulated, one tiny little speed bump would, like, wah, freak me out, right? Now what I do when I hit those speed bumps, what feelings are coming up inside of me, right? I'm not taking them as life is trying to screw me over, God hates me, whatever. Now I'm like, what is this teaching me? What is this showing me? This speed bump right here brought up these feelings inside of me. I don't like these feelings. I don't want to react and have these feelings in me every time this happens. So what I will do is I will get my notebook and I will write down the feelings that I'm having. I release jealousy. I release anger. I release lack mindset, you know? And I write these down on a piece of paper, and then I just write it over and over and over. I release lack mindset. I release jealousy. I release insecurity. I release these. And then I'll go in and start saying, I am the opposite of those things. I've released them, and now I am creating with that energy. Every time you release something, replace it with something. So I am rich, I am abundant, I am confident, I am powerful, you know, and that's what is on my paper. And then when I finally filled the paper, because sometimes I fill it front and back, and it's just like big words, abundance, I am, like, you know, anything that comes to me, I'm just writing it. But first it starts with the things I want to release. I release this, I release this, I release this, and then it's I am this, I am this, I am this, and then I fold it, and I light some candles, and I turn on some music, and I burn it, and then I'm done. It's over.
I'm going to bring up a good example of manifestation, because this just happened recently with the moon ceremonies. And even if you're not just doing a moon ceremony, you're just sitting with yourself and you're writing down or just saying your affirmations. Every morning I say, you know, money flows to me freely and abundantly. I am so abundant. My life is filled with abundance and prosperity. It's an every morning thing. Money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. So the other day, I received a check in mail. You know, recently we just acquired a vehicle. We traded my car in. I did not know that I had gap insurance on my car. So the loan was paid off early. They sent me a refund check. Had no idea. Wasn't even expecting it. But got a check in the mail Monday. And we just had our moon ceremony releasing and all that stuff.
It was
Saturday, and Monday comes in and I received this check, and I looked at it, I'm like, my God, thank you, universe.
So did you release lack?
Money was one of them.
I did too. I released lack mindset. I released lack mindset. I released fear of the unknown. I released control, and I released codependency. So those are the things that I felt coming up before the full moon that I was experiencing. Yeah,
it's great, because, and the one thing is don't have a view or a mindset of how you're going to receive these blessings. The universe is always control. It is control. You have to release that. Universe is going to give you what's right for you, what's in alignment with your highest good, and you may not even like know how it's going to come. But like that check, totally unexpected, but I recognized that it was a gift. You know, as soon as I seen it.
That's the other thing you have to do.
You recognize
Instead of saying, oh, it's just gap insurance, you say, oh my gosh,
what
thank
a blessing,
you.
What a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, I forgot what I was going to say.
I hate when that happens.
Done. Over with. That sucks. Okay, what do we want? So next on the list is the dark feminine. Do we want to go into the dark feminine, or do we want to save that for next time? Because we've been talking about women, and we've been talking about ceremonies, and we've been talking about feminine energy. I think dark feminine
comes right along in it.
I feel like we should just continue, but, you know, we get all fired up when the dark feminine comes in. So, okay, I do want to bring up, I have a very good friend, one of my best friends. We've been friends for over 20 years. she has been embracing this dark feminine, like, rawr, like the dark feminine, power, power, power. But what's happening is that she's tuned too much into the dark feminine and not so much into the light feminine.
I know what it's like to be unbalanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do, now, dark feminine is very powerful. She's very powerful. She is very powerful. Once that Lilith in you awakens, like, it's hard to regulate your power because you feel, I am a woman and I am in control and I am powerful and you are not going to tell me what to do and I am blah, 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 all this stuff, right?
But she's great because I have tapped into that power, and she's that speaking your truth and being authentic, is standing in your power isn't the only thing that has come, in. So I've been experimenting.
Yeah.
Other ways.
I know. She makes me kundalini all up. She is powerful and sexy. I love the dark feminine. But we have to remember that everything is balance. So not only do we have to have the dark feminine, but we have to tune into the light side of things. Mm-hmm. Like, not only Lilith, but Mother Mary. Isis. Like, let's go to the light side. Let's talk to some light goddesses, right? Let's embrace the divine aspect and not just the dark aspect.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So find your inner sexuality is the first one. Walk like a goddess. And that's what we were just talking about. That's what happens. You tune in to the dark goddess and you start, like, she controls you, right? It's almost like you're like, who am I? I feel completely different. I feel awakened. I feel sexy. It doesn't matter what I am wearing. I feel sexy all the time. Me, personally. Like, that's just how I feel. I can have sweatpants on. I can have my hair a mess. I don't have to have my teeth brushed. I don't care. I feel sexy all the time. And I don't need someone to tell me that I'm sexy to feel sexy. I just feel sexy. Mm-hmm. That's the dark feminine. So if you're looking to sex it up a little bit, the dark feminine is the perfect example. And I would recommend Lilith. She keeps coming up over and over and over again. So Lilith is a good one. She's like, rawr. And she's a schoolgirl. She's flirty. She's dark. She's great. She's great in the dark feminine. I love her very much. But there's also Hecate, who is the woman of crossroads. Let's say maybe you don't need to wake up your sexuality with Lilith. There's Hecate, who is the queen of crossroads, and she's the queen of witchcraft and all those things. So there's lots of dark feminine goddesses that you can tune into. It just depends on what aspects in your life you're ready to awaken. So if you are looking to activate the dark feminine in you, look up the dark goddesses. Look up dark goddesses, see what traits they carry with them, and then make friends with them. And then when that energy starts to activate in your life, embrace it. Embrace it. But watch that ego, because the dark feminine will get very powerful on you and make you want to crush men. It takes a while to find the balance when you're in the dark feminine power. It takes a lot.
I think it took us a year.
Yeah.
Because all of this is so relevant, because it took me back when we first started talking and getting into the video. I started thinking about our journey over the last year. And I'm like, the spiritual ego was really there in the beginning. I mean, we had so many messages and over that. Mm-hmm. The dark feminine, when we first started coming into our power, and I can go back to the exact time when I was standing in that power, and really I was all out of balance, and I was like crushing it, and like really like, I don't care, you can go, bye, see you later. Like, I don't need anybody. I'm right here taking care of my shit.
I'm a strong, powerful goddess. I don't need nobody. Yeah, that's the dark feminine.
It's exactly what I needed at that time.
To push you.
To push me to make the decisions that that are right for me, that, I don't need anybody.
Yeah.
But balancing it out has taken some time.
Yeah. It does need to be balanced. Mm-hmm. You can't be fully dark feminine. That's too much. Too much power. Balance it out with some light. Okay, so the next one is well, we didn't even talk about that first one. Find your inner sexuality. Find it. We all deserve to have that feeling, right? We all deserve the feeling of just like being turned on, right? Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to feel that way? It's powerful. It feels great.
What it feels good is to have it on your own terms.
Yeah. Yes. Not because someone did it to me, just because I am who I am. I just love the way I feel. I enjoy the way that I feel. I enjoy the way that I smell. I enjoy the way that I look. Like I wanna.
Yeah.
I wanna. Okay. Activate inactive DNA. And that's kind of what happens sort of when we go through all of these spiritual awakenings. We have, I don't know how many strands of inactive DNA, but every time you awaken into a deeper level of the new earth, it's sort of like bing, lights up another one. Bing, lights up another one, right? And we all have the goddess energy inside of us. Every single goddess exists within us. Every time you connect to one, it's activating another strand of DNA. So activate the DNA. Tune in. Like, life is better. Life is better when you have less inactive DNA. It just, I mean, like, if I look at my life now compared to what my life was like, then the only difference is that I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm not sleeping anymore. I'm not letting the world control me anymore. I am now controlling and creating my own universe. And I would never, ever, ever in a million years go back to the person that I was. Ever.
No. Yeah. The people pleasing. I'm so glad that's over with. Mm-hmm. Afraid to speak up for myself. Mm-hmm. Being bullied. Mm. Narcissistic abuse, which has run deep in my life. And
the narcissists. They drive me nuts.
I am so free now. Mm-hmm. And when I see it now, I'm like, oh, let that motherfucker just come into my view. I would light him up now. And it's liberating. And who would want to go back to being in a box once you're set free?
Yeah. No. I ain't going back in no box. Nothing. Not anymore. No walls for me. The next one on the list is the wild woman. And that's Lilith. I mean, Lilith is the wild woman. I mean, like, we all need the wild woman activated. That's what I love the ceremonies. I think moon ceremonies are for the wild woman in us. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to get around a fire, and I want to stare at the fire, and I want to howl at the moon, like, Sam does these cold plunges, like wild woman things, like letting the hair on your legs grow, like, like wild woman things, not always being so prim and proper, being a little bit dirty, being a little bit messy, like, let that wild woman out, because, we're humans, which means we're animals. We are actual animals, right? With a soul inside of us. Animals are stinky. Animals are hairy. Animals, like, there's a lot of things that have been suppressed in us women that we're not supposed to be. But it's such a struggle to be those things. It's so exhausting to shave your legs every single day, to wash your hair every single day, to blow dry your hair every single day, to like do all of these things that as women we're like supposed to do. Let that wild woman out and just live wild for a little bit.
Yeah, I go back and forth.
Me too.
Yeah.
I do these things now because I want to.
Exactly. Yep.
I will shave my legs when I want to shave my legs.
I remember we had this conversation not too long ago. Exactly. And it should be because you want to.
Not
everything.
For anyone else.
No.
It's because I want to rub my soft legs. Because it feels good to put my beef tallow on with less hair.
I am right there. I've stopped doing things because somebody's reminding me to do it. I said, you know what? The more you keep mentioning it, the more I'm going to keep going the way I am right now. I am fine. I take a trip in the forest. I don't care.
Like, why is it expected? I don't understand why it's expected.
Programming.
Like, I am like, I'm a woman. Mm-hmm. I have hair. everywhere.
I've seen these TikTok videos of women pretending like they have armpit hair and they're freaking out their boyfriends, and I get so irritated with the men's reactions to the women with armpit hair, and I'm like, you know what? I've actually seen some celebrities come out where they have their arms up and stuff, and they're like with armpit hair, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
Who cares? Like,
I'm
why?
like, that.
Unless it bothers you personally, it's, I actually haven't seen any of the videos where the men are reacting badly. I have only seen one video of that. I didn't know it was a trend going around.
Yeah.
But this woman stopped shaving. She says it's like been a month, and she's like so disgusted. And she says, he doesn't even notice. He doesn't notice at all, you know? He rubs her legs. He doesn't say anything at all. And I'm like, that's right, because... dude, why do we have to, how would you feel if you as a man had to go shave your effing legs every time you went in the shower? Like, do you know how many parts and pieces we're expected to shave? Do you know how long that takes? Do you know how many razor heads that takes? Like, come on.
I am no longer being somebody's interpretation of what a woman should be.
No. I love that. I am no longer someone's interpretation of what a woman should be.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm
Put
badass
that on
today.
a fucking t-shirt.
Hell yeah.
Put it on a t-shirt. Okay. We're going to leave it at Wild Woman. We have about 5 minutes left, and I want to pull some cards. How about you?
How about that?
Okay.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it the old school way and see what pops out.
That wasn't even a big deck that you pulled up.
No.
And look at all those cards.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we got 4 different cards from 2 different decks. And there's about 5 different decks, 4 or 5 different decks in here. Okay, so we got forgiveness and completion, right? And that is the closing of a cycle, right? Once we understand and learn that forgiveness is not about the other person, it's not about the other person at all. It is literally freeing yourself from those chains that other person put on top of you. That's what forgiveness is. We don't forgive people because they deserve it. We forgive people because we deserve it. And then once we forgive that person, it's like a cycle can be completed, and we don't have to repeat that cycle anymore. We went through and we experienced this thing. We understood that forgiveness is about freedom of self instead of freedom of the other person. And then the universe is like, learn that lesson. You don't have to go through it anymore. Once you can release that trauma and forgive that person, that cycle is over. And of course, you probably have a couple other cycles to work through. Mm-hmm. But forgiveness is a big one. There's a lot of us who walk around daily with like all of this hurt and anger and animosity inside of us and I'm just going to say it for men, like we do have a lot of hurt and anger and animosity stored inside of us because of all the things as women we really have been through. And I do not want to hate on men. I love men. I think they are here to serve a purpose, right? We are all here to serve a purpose, but they've been skewed as to what a man should be. Their interpretation of what a man should be is not what a man actually should be. So although us women do have just like it's like birthed into us, right? Like we all have this sort of like animosity towards the men as women, and we need to like forgive them as a whole. Mm-hmm. They didn't know and they don't understand. As awakened beings, as awakened women, we see things a little more clearly. They're still focused, hyper focused on sort of this area that they think that they should be doing, but we've like zoomed out and we can see the whole picture. And instead of judging them for being the people that they are right now, we need to have love and compassion and understanding for them and understand that they don't know. They don't know, they don't understand. They haven't evolved to that layer yet. So forgive them and release you from the chains of them.
That's absolutely correct. They need an awakened woman in their life.
Yeah. And not necessarily to marry or anything, but any sort of awakened woman, yes, to like learn and understand and grow from. I've seen it happen. My ex-husband was very much a programmed country bumpkin from out here. And now he is just the most awakened, beautiful, flourishing, thriving person, And it took some awakening. It took me and my 3 daughters to sort of like, oh, you're right. The world is so much bigger than what I thought it was. I don't have to focus on all these things over here. It's way, way bigger. So if we could forgive, not just anybody in your life, we need to forgive and close that cycle. Yes. Because I feel like as women, a lot of us who are holding that animosity and that anger in, and we're also like, if you're dating men, or even women who hold a masculine energy, if you're holding that animosity and that anger inside of you, that cycle is going to keep repeating. So you're going to keep inviting these people in who have these qualities if you haven't finished that cycle and you haven't completed that cycle. So forgive so that you can stop repeating the cycle. And then the next 2 cards come from the Starseed deck, and we got Earth, School, and Water Your Garden. So Earth School says life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. And it really is embracing a bigger picture, right? We are here to learn on this Earth School. We are here to go through certain things, but learning is evolving from those things. Instead of saying, oh, well, this and this and this and this, we say, I learned so much from that experience.
Absolutely.
I grew so much from that experience. I evolved so much from that experience. I'm so grateful that I went through that experience so I can now be who I am right now. But I didn't become myself because of that experience. I became myself because of the things I learned and I grew from in that experience. So the next one is Water Your Garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And that's perfect for right now. It is winter. And as humans, we are programmed to go just as hard in the winter as we are. Like all the things that we do in the spring and the summer, we're supposed to continue and carry into the winter. But winter is for resting. It's hibernation. Again, we are animals. We came from animals. We evolved from animals. Whatever. We are animals at the base of us. And we hibernate. Like right. Winter is for slowing down and getting to know yourself, creating.
If you keep pushing yourself consistently, you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
And that's when you create a lot of bad habits, unhealthy, toxic patterns. It's time for a reset.
Yeah.
Use the winter time for a reset.
Use the winter for a reset. For winter, for me, it's like, I want to make soup. I want to bake bread. Do you know how many batches of cinnamon rolls I've made in the last 2 months? Like, just bake.
Why have you not brought them over?
I know. I'm perfecting the recipe, okay? I have not had a good batch yet.
It sounds so good.
So because I'm gluten-free and I'm also dairy-free, I have to mix and create and get the best flavors. The last batch was supposed to be the best batch ever, but I was at my mom's house. I make everything with beef tallow. If it says butter or oil, I'm using beef tallow. They're talking about body care. I also slather beef tallow all over my entire body. Okay, so I was at my mom's house. I forgot my beef tallow, and she's like, well, I have some shortening. And as soon as I opened the lid, I was like, ugh, like it smelled like old oil. But I thought maybe that's just the way shortening smells, right?
Yeah.
So I made cinnamon rolls with it, and literally they taste exactly like it smells. Old, crusty ass oil. So yes, I will be bringing some baked goods over for you. I owe Kevin chocolate chip cookies. I haven't forgot about that. No salt on top of them. I remember that too. But that's what winter's for, creating and just like doing things that slow you down. Baking, cooking, soup, simmering, the smells, like take care of yourself, nourish your body, nourish your mind, nourish your soul. Be so grateful of the things that you're learning on Earth School so that you can develop and evolve into the person that you came here to be. Forgive to end that cycle of completion. And that's all I got.
That's a really good message.
Yeah.
I love that. That was a perfect ending. Yeah. I love it.
It was good. It was good to be back.
It is.
I love channeling. I'm hoping next week I would like to do some more direct channeling. So hopefully they can hear that. I mean, I love receiving the information and giving the messages, but when they can speak directly through me, I really love giving the audience that, because it really is magic. It really is power. The vibrations are so high. It's hard not to be affected by that.
Absolutely.
So, have a good week, and we will see you all next time.
Thank you.